What if there's a way to optimize your offers, predict counteroffers, and achieve win-win outcomes more consistently? If you are tired of negotiation battles that leave you empty-handed and with a loss of both time and money, then it's time to engage AI-powered negotiation strategies. In this video, I show you how. Welcome to day 27. We're talking about AI-powered transaction negotiation today. It's all about optimizing offers and getting to a position where it's a win-win outcome for the buyer and the seller in any transaction. So in this series, we're going through the theme of streamlining transactions and operations and how AI can help improve the outcome for the agent and the outcome for all your clients, so everybody's happy throughout the process. So in terms of negotiations, the old way tended to be very time consuming and emotionally charged, where the buyer and the seller are just trying to get one over one another. And it doesn't have to be that way. In that situation, it's difficult to accurately gauge what the market trends are and any buyer-seller motivations without the input of data or the information that you need in order to arrive at a decision or an informed decision. And you're more likely to reach an impasse if you're dealing with the old way of doing things where you don't have much of the data to hand. So AI makes the negotiations a lot more intelligent, a lot smarter. Not necessarily because AI itself is smarter, but AI is able to consider vast amounts of data when it's trying to identify the components that lead to a price when it comes to buying or selling. So vast amounts of data include the market trends, the potential outcomes depending on the model that is being trained with. It can also negotiate tools that will provide aspects of the insights that you need in order to inform what strategy you should deploy when you're going to buy a possible property. It's often said that in property, the strategy determines the price that any purchaser is prepared to pay. And that's no different with AI. AI will be trained with the different strategies and the different possible outcomes. But the ultimate thing is to arrive at a point where it's a win-win, a win for the buyer, a win for the seller, and everybody remains happy. So the power of data and negotiation with the traditional methods, you'd have to rely on limited data, personal experience, and there's a lot more value placed on personal experience. Whereas personal experience is actually data and built from data, but there's a lot of bias when it comes to personal data and human beings handling or making decisions based on personal data. With AI, the emotion is removed. AI looks at vast data sets, can look at past transactions, property valuations, the current market conditions, the economic conditions, and it can use that to generate a figure which it would deem appropriate for the transaction. And you can gain insights into buyer-seller motivations and any hidden opportunities by using AI to assess all types of communications that you've had between the buyer and the seller and the agent and any other parties involved in the transaction. So real-time data for real-time decisions. So AI tools can provide real-time data on comparable properties, market conditions, and buyer behavior. Imagine trying to purchase a property, and whilst you're going through the negotiation, another one comes up that's similar, potentially would give you better returns if you adopted one of the key strategies. That automatically puts you in a position of advantage if you are the buyer in the negotiation. On the other hand, if a property suddenly disappears and AI is able to tell you straight away that this has happened, something's gone off the market, suddenly there's a bit more scarcity and the property you're about to sell becomes more valuable, and you can adjust your price or your negotiations based on that knowledge. So the key thing is to identify the sweet spot for pricing that would attract sellers without compromising your client's interests, so being the buyer. and try and understand buyer urgency and tailor your offers to their specific needs. Does the seller want a quick closing? Are there flexibilities that could be brought to bear? Are there any nuances or any unspoken ideas that will be contained within communication between the buyer and seller that could help unlock a transaction? So your negotiation powerhouse based on AI means that you treat the AI as your negotiation assistant. So it would analyze your offers, predict any counter offers, and suggest the optimal negotiation strategies. You'd also look at sentiment analysis, and this is where AI comes into its own, because it can use sentiment analysis on emails, on any phone calls you've had between the parties or with the agent, to understand what the emotions and preferences could be, or any pointers that you may have missed along the line. And there are offer optimization tools that you could tap into. So these tools would identify the most attractive offer components. So the prices, the closing date, contingencies. Is it the key to try and end the transaction so that all the parties involved in the sale can go off on their own personal businesses? So what's the win-win negotiation strategy to adopt with AI? Firstly is to ensure that AI focuses on value. So any offer must address each party's needs and priorities and provide a sense of value to both sides so that nobody feels like they've been ripped off. The second thing is maintain rapport between the parties so that there's trust and so that the negotiation can continue and proceed on an even keel. Now, this next point, which is the BATNA and the WATNA, first time I've seen these two terminologies, but what they stand for are that best alternative to a negotiation agreement, and the WATNA is walk away from the negotiation alternative. So these are the strategies that you can adopt. AI can give you the optimal figure for both strategies, and if the figure is breached, you just walk away, or you may decide to go for a different solution or a different approach for the property purchase. With regards to real world success stories, it's difficult to come by anything that's specific to real estate, but I found something for Walmart, where Walmart essentially has an AI powered chatbot that does negotiations. Suffice to say that the negotiations are for smaller ticket items, but therefore negotiations nonetheless. And the results seem quite interesting. So the first is they achieved a 68% supply deal closure. So not quite 100%, but 68% is a lot. The suppliers seem to prefer, or 75% of suppliers seem to prefer the negotiations with a chatbot to negotiations with human representatives. The third one is the negotiations delivered an average of 3% cost savings on negotiated contracts. This is brilliant. And the chatbot was trained on historical data, preferences, the market trends, and all that type of data. So it wasn't left to its own devices. It'd been pre-trained. But this is really good. And what happens next is they can improve it, make it more accurate, make the training data more accurate, and before you know it, then the AI could handle bigger ticket items. Now, I don't know if we're at the point yet where AI can negotiate on bigger ticket items like purchasing a house or purchasing a commercial building, but it can certainly provide the information that you need to make that final decision based on independent, objective data. So empower your negotiation strategy with AI. So what are the benefits of AI-powered negotiation? One, increased efficiency, improved outcomes, and happier clients, because everybody understands that you're working off of data, you're not working off of emotion or any other sentiments. So the future of negotiation is really here. AI-powered negotiation would be a lot more prominent in everything we do, even if it's not a case of the AI gets employed whilst everyone's sat around a table and they're all fighting each other. The simple fact is the package or the offer that you prepare for any property would heavily have been influenced by AI in multiple ways. That's already the case now in terms of automated valuation methods or models and market conditions, giving a score to a property, looking at the dilapidations of a property and using that to come up with a figure. All those things are AI based, and that's already there. So AI can definitely streamline mundane tasks, giving you, the agent, more time to do what truly matters, which is connecting with your clients. And it's about leveraging tech to enhance your transactions, your interactions, and making each one feel bespoke. So regardless of the client you're speaking to, whom you're speaking, because you have AI on your side, collating the relevant information, relevant bespoke information on that client, you're able to address their specific needs directly. And AI is a launchpad to a more rewarding career and stronger client bonds. So there's always the other side to think about as well, the ethical considerations of AI. Remain transparent and ensure there's a human oversight when using AI for negotiations. In the news recently, there's the chatbot that tried, or that was almost conned into selling a car for $1. So if you are going to use a chatbot, ensure that a human is there to make the final decision. Otherwise, you may end up with a situation that's not ideal for you as the agent. So AI should be used to augment the human expertise, not replace it. And clear communications between clients about the role of AI in all of the negotiation would help, because that would help determine if one party likes what they're hearing as opposed to the other party feeling like they have somehow been taken advantage of. So thank you for listening. What remains to be said is we are autori.ai. You can partner with us for all of these AI-driven solutions. We bring automation, chatbots, custom GPTs, custom knowledge bases, and any one of these things that you need advice on or consultancy on, we can help bring in that tool that will supercharge your business, grow your profits, certainly grow your revenues, and harness and tap into the experience that exists within this space. So until next time, keep investing.